What's good, y'all? Everybody, we are back again with another video, and today we are here with the last part of the position part of this little series that I'm doing. We're doing the centers today. Like I said, we're going to do all 5 positions. Then at the end of every position, well, at the end of all the positions, we're going to do the top 50 players in the NBA, and that is going to be a very exciting video. So make sure you like and subscribe and share with your friends so you can be here to watch that video. That should drop sometime next week. But this is the centers video. Also a very good position. I think this is a deep ass league, bro. I didn't realize how deep every position other than the shooting guard position was, even though they got some good players in like the 9 to 10 range. But like every other position is very, very deep. I'm talking all-stars and number 10. Like this position, the center position is very good. So let's get straight into this video. At number 10 we have Jared Allen. Listen, shout out to my Cleveland Cavalier, Jared Allen. I think it was a pretty good season for Jared. I think he had an argument to make an all-star team again. And I don't think it was just because we had the best record in the league. No, I think he was that good. It was an argument around that time if he was our third best player, and that's after Darius Garland and Evan Mobley. That's not a shot at Donovan Mitchell, but Jared Allen was playing that good this year. But the reason why he's here for me and not higher, because I do rate his defense a lot better than some of the guys above him, because I think he's very versatile on defense. I think he's very good as a paint protector, of course, one of the best in the league, and I think he's very good in the post. It's just the effort. A lot of games, and I mean a lot, you can go to my Twitter and just look up Jared Allen and effort in the same sentence. It's a lot of tweets, because he just has games where he doesn't want to play. And you can see plenty of tweets of me adding him and saying you didn't want to play today, because he just has plenty of games where he's just out there not doing too much. The ball goes past him and he's just looking at it. But then he has other games where he's looking like the best player on the court. And I'm like, bro, why can't we get this consistently? And I understand it's hard. You want to play your role, but like, bro, you have games where you're dominating on the boards and dominating defensively, and we're giving you the ball in the post and you're scoring it at will. Like, I think he's a very talented center, one of the best talented centers in the league, but the effort is the reason why I can't put him higher. But Jared Allen is still very good. Like I said, very good paint protector, very good paint presence on both sides. Elite floater for a center. Underrated passer for a center. I love Jared Allen's passing. But yeah, just the effort. The effort would have him much higher on this list. So that's who I have at number 10. At number 9, we have first-time All-Star Alperen Sengun. Now, this might seem low. I'm going to be real, I'm not the highest on Alperen Sengun's game. I think he took a step back offensively this year. I think his finishing was worse than it was in previous years. I do think his passing wasn't used to his potential this year, so we weren't really able to see that a lot. But I do think he had a pretty good playoff series. It was at times he ducked smoke from Draymond, but it's Draymond, one of the best defenders of all time. I understand it. But I do think he lived up to the moment at times. I think his defense overall this year was very fucking good. I think it was very good, like, for him, not in general. Like, I wouldn't say it was a lead or nothing, but for somebody that's kind of known as being a bad defender, I think he killed those narratives this year, and I think he turned it around to being actually a pretty good defender this year. So shout out to him for that. I'm very excited for him for this upcoming season next to KD. I feel like that's going to make his game a lot better, just having that space and having that legit threat to play with other than a guy like Jalen Green. So he's going to have open space because you can't double off KD. And then hopefully we see some improvements from the players around him, so you really can't double off anybody. And then I think he would be back to dominating. But yeah, I just didn't like his finishing this year. But other than that, I think he had a pretty decent year. I don't think he deserved to be an All-Star, though. I think that was just like they were second seed. You had to give him one. He was obviously the best player. I don't think he deserved to be an All-Star, but I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's actually pretty good. And I'm actually pretty excited for him for this upcoming season. So that's why I have at number 9. Number 8, taking a huge dip. But like still, like has an argument for being the best defender in the world, and that's Rudy Gobert. Now Rudy, to me, I think Rudy was very good this year as far as defense. I don't think he's ever going to take a step back defensively. He's just too good, too smart on that side. I think the offense kind of hurt them at times, and I think it took a minute for him and Julius to kind of get it together. But once they did, they looked pretty good. I think Rudy played okay in the playoffs. Had that very good game to close out the Lakers series. I think he was okay, decent in the Thunder series, and I think I think he was okay in the Thunder series, and I think he was okay in the Warriors series. I don't expect him to be on this list next year because I feel like this list is deep. Like, I just added the list, so all these players are like down. Jared Allen won't make the list, but yeah, Rudy Gobert was okay this year. Yeah, he definitely won't be on this list next year though. So at number 7 we have Kristoff. Now, it was kind of hard to get him on this list because I feel like most of this year he was hurt. But like, I don't know, the talent. I can't leave a talented Kristaps off this list. Like, one of the best paint protectors in the league, one of the best drop coverage bigs in the league, one of the best, if not the best, mismatch attacker. That's not like a superstar. That's not like a jokic or embiid, but like one of the best mismatch attacking bigs in the league. One of the best shooting three-point shooting bigs in the league. Like, I just can't leave that off my list. I feel like Kristaps is just still as good as he was in previous years. It's just the injuries are just catching up to him, and then he ended the season with, I don't know, bronchitis, AIDS. He had something where he literally couldn't play more than 5 minutes in a period. But I can't leave him off this list. Kristaps is just that good. So that's what I have here at number 7. At number 7, that's why I would have Domantas Sabonis. I did not have him on this list at first. I kind of forgot about his name when I was making this list. He was pretty good this year. I think he was very underrated. I think his playmaking was pretty good. He's always going to be really good. I think he finished in the paint better this year. Rebounding is always going to be one of the best. Passing as a big is always going to be one of the best. What I think is the underrated part is, same thing with Alperen Sengun. I think he took a step on defense. I don't think it was as good as Alperen Sengun, and I think that's just because Alperen Sengun is just better on his feet, better hands. But I think he was pretty good on defense this year. I don't think he hurt the team at all like normal years. I still think as a player, the reason why he's not high, I just think as a player he has a ceiling. And if he's your first or second best player, you have a very low ceiling, and I would even say a very low floor. Doesn't mean he's a bad player or anything. It's just this archetype of player is just not a winning player, or not a player that can be a first or second best player on the NBA team, if you get what I'm saying. So, not to shit on him or anything, but I'm just not that high on Sabonis, but I do think and I know he had a very good year this year. So that's why he's at number 7. At number 6, this was hard between the person above him. But like I said, I just value defense a lot. Even though the person above him did not have... He had an up and down season offensively. His defense is clear. So at number 6, we have Karl Anthony Towns. Had a very, very good year this year. At some point was an argument for the Knicks' best player. And also an argument for... first team All-NBA. Now that died very quickly because we all realized that was stupid, and Jalen Brunson was just that good. But Cap this year was very good. I think in the regular season, I don't think his defense was that bad. I think in the playoffs it was. I don't think in the regular season it was that bad. I think his scoring was very good. I actually think he showed up in the playoffs. I don't think it was as consistent as you want from a number 2, but I do think overall this is probably his best playoff. I think he lived up to the moment, and I think he's very good. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's very good. I think they let him pass it a lot more this year, so his passing jobs. I think his shooting and his scoring, his ISO scoring, everything was elite this year. I just wish he was a good defender, because he was. Like, if he was Alperen Sengun level defense, he would be fucking around B3. That's just how elite his offense is. But yeah, the defense is terrible. So that's why I've cat at number 6. At number 5, like I said, would have been lower, but I just value defense a lot, and that's Bam. I don't think Bam for a long time is going to be out the top 5. Even though the offense started off slow, I think at the end it picked up a lot. I think his shooting starting to go down, the three-point shot starting to go down, and then the mid-range starting to go down. And he's always been pretty good as a rim finisher, play finisher. I just can't wait for him to get a point guard. Hopefully Kasper Shakachonis is that point guard, but I know it's going to take like a year or two, and I don't know if Bam will even be on this team in a year or two. But still, I think he was pretty good this year, especially to end off the year. I think the defense is always going to be elite. It's just, when your offense is that bad as it started off to be, a lot of people fell off on Bam, me being one, but like seeing it ramp up towards the end of the year, and then you start paying attention, oh yeah, he's still elite on defense. So I'll cut him some slack. I do. And I hope he doesn't end up on another team, because I think they're actually building something kind of decent over there, and I think he can be a great leader for that team. So that's why I have at number 5. At number 4, he was number 3 before I forgot who number 3 was. So you'll hear about that in like 2-3 minutes. But number 4, my most improved player, Ivica Zubac. Zubac was amazing this year. Had an argument for being the Clippers' best player. Was definitely their best player in the playoffs. Should have been first team all defense. Or I don't even think he made an all defensive team. If he did, correct me if I'm wrong. But if he didn't, that's crazy. I think he should have been an all-star. And I understand, didn't have the name. And I think he ended off the season better than he started off. So I definitely think he should have been all NBA. I've always loved Zeus since he was a Laker, bro. And then fucking traded him for Mike Muscala, bro. But Zubac is very good. Always been a very good paint finisher, but I think he was very elite this year. I think him and James Harden just having an offense for like what 3/4 of the season, they kind of was a very good duo, a dynamic duo. I think his passing was elite, not elite, was better this year. I think his defense. I don't want to say he carried this defense because they have pieces in Derrick Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn, but I'm not gonna lie, they benefited a lot off of him, like just funneling people down to him and him just eating it all up. I think he dominated the whole season on defense. Like, I think he had an argument for defensive player of the year. I just think he was that good this year on defense. And then on offense, arguably the best rebounder in the league, dominated a lot of matchups. I remember he dominated the Cavs badly. I think he slowed down Jokic a lot in the playoffs, and I think he played very good in the playoffs for his first playoffs as a quote-unquote star. So shout out to Zubac. I don't think he can ever rise because the top three is just going to be locked probably until they retire. But yeah, Zubac was elite this year, and shout out to him. And number 3, I have Victor Wembanyama. I think Vic was pretty good this year. I think his offense got better. I think he became a better pull-up shooter. I think in the paint he finished a lot better. The defense would have ran away with Defensive Player of the Year. Even though, for me, he probably wouldn't have ran away with it because I felt like Draymond was just that crazy. I felt like Evan Mobley was just that crazy this year that I'm not just going to give Vic the Defensive Player of the Year because he had all the blocks. But still, Vic was still like the best defender for most of the year. I can't wait for him and De'Aaron to have a full season together because I think it can be magic. I think it can. I want the pieces around them to get better because I don't think they're ready yet to take that step that a lot of people are expecting them to take this year. But then again, if Vic takes that leap that we all know he has in him, being a 7-foot demigod, 7'5" demigod, I'm sorry, then yeah, I understand why a lot of people are a lot higher on the Spurs. Me, I'm not gonna rush it. But Vic is just that crazy. Like, for him to be as good as he was this year, like, he would have been first team All NBA, no doubt. I don't think that's a question. So he would have had first team All NBA, Defensive Player of the Year in his second year. Fucking ridiculous. But yeah, third best center in the league. Only up from here. Next year, most likely it's going to be 2 because I just don't know what Embiid. And if he's 1, we're fucked. Number 2, Embiid. He didn't play like a top 10 center at all. Maybe not even top 20. He had games where he's okay, but the injuries was trash. But I just can't write off Embiid. It's Embiid. It's one of the best players of all time. I just can't write him off. After one bad year, I'm just not going to put him under Vic or Zubac. I'm just not going to do that. So I'm just going to give him a 1 year grace, and hopefully he's back to where he was before because that player is one of the best players in the world and one of the best players of all time, one of the most dominant, unstoppable players of all time. So hopefully, just prayers we can get Embiid back, man. And then number 1, Jokic had arguably the second best offensive season of all time. Not one. I'm sorry. I just don't think we will ever see something like we seen in 2016. That's unfuckwittable. But number 2, Jokic definitely has an argument for that. Like a triple-double from the center is crazy. On that elite of efficiency, shooting 40% from 3 is crazy. The defense was fucking awful this year. It was bad. So if he had legit competition, me being so high on defense, he would have fucking rather been lower. But he doesn't have that because he's just that all-time of a talent that he's going to always be 1 until he decides he wants to retire. But yeah, Jokic is just elite this year. I think even though he faced defense that slowed him down this year, I think he hooped in the playoffs. He did a lot of stinkers that don't get talked about, especially that Game 7. But still, I think he played very well this year, and I'm excited for the Nuggets next year because I think they did okay, in free agency and getting legit players around their star duo. So hopefully we get to see them make a run next year. But other than that, man, that is it. Now expect the top 50 list to be next, man. That should be dropping probably around Wednesday. This video is being recorded this Wednesday, and I go on vacation next Wednesday. So yeah, this video is going to drop next Wednesday. So make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends. I'm out.